All right, let's try that one up from the top. Thank you, everyone, for being so kind with me. Welcome, everyone, to our Community Club Coming Attractions Showcase for Winter 2022. I am your host, Scala Kitty, this time now with an actual voice that you can hear over the internet. Joining me this evening will be my other wonderful co-host, S. Grunt.
Hello, hello. We're representing the super cool S Club tonight. We'll be talking about some of my own clubs a little bit later, like Small Secrets and Steelers Pseudonymous and Samurai versus the Sapphire Sphere. And wait, I'm informed that that not all of our club names are actually starting with an S this season, but we'll get back to you on that one.
I mean, that I have to say I'm very impressed. I'm extremely impressed by all of those. But yes,
thinking that for most of the days.
I appreciate the dedication to the bit as always. But yeah, so for folks who might have come into Free Enterprise during the last tournament, when we do not have an active tournament, we flip over to what we call Club Season. Basically, this is a whole wide variety of different ways to play Free Enterprise, and we have both what we call we have our live restreamed races, and we also will have asynchronous races. We're going to be going over both of those this evening, but we'll start up at the top with what kind of came back first after the tournament, which is our community races. This was sort of like the foundation, really, in a lot of ways, of Free Enterprise competitive racing. So these community races, these happen every Monday night and Friday night. Mondays they are at 8 p.m. and they're here on the main Free Enterprise channel, and then the Friday night ones are at 10 p.m. on Free Enterprise 2. Also, whenever we're talking about different times, all those times are in Eastern Time. So kind of as we've been coming back, we sort of were kind of like changing out the flag sets every week, but after this week we're going to be going back to the 2 weeks for flag sets. That way there we have that nice variety of flag sets, lots of fun ways to play, but you know, a little less flag set churn. And we also remind folks that we do have a suggestion box if you would like to say, hey, I think this would be a fun flag set. I'll just go ahead, it's right here in chat. I will also be sure to link that for the YouTube VOD later, but of course, and we're going to be saying this so much, basically all the clubs take place in our Discord, so go ahead if you'd like to join our Discord, which we have that really nice, succinct URL. It is discord.gg/ff4fe if you would like to come and join us. But yeah,
absolutely do come and join us. Apart from all of the racing stuff, it is a great community to hang out in.
Exactly. So for the community races, so when we pick out a flag set, we'll have 4 different live races over the course of 2 weeks. There'll be lots of chances to join in. These races are open to everyone of all skill levels. We usually will let you know, though, if a race is sort of geared a bit harder, a bit easier. So you can kind of like choose, like, you know, does this feel right for me? Basically, if you want to volunteer to be restreamed here on the channel, you can totally do that. We take our volunteers from people who sign up sort of during the first like 30 minutes, and we're always happy to feature a wide variety of folks. But let's go ahead, I feel, and talk about some of the clubs that are coming back. This is actually going to be the first one to come back. It's also one that we've had around for a little while now. So, Escart, if you could do me the wonderful favor and you can pull in our lovely guests as we go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. So let's talk about Baron's Hero's Journey, which is run by the wonderful Alchemy, and we'll see if we can get her in the room with us. Oh, I suppose she is not available. I know for some folks this, I know for her this is a little late for her, so
Yeah.
that is totally fine. We are happy to talk about the club on Alchemy's behalf. So yeah, this has been around for like a while now. This is sort of this club was sort of really taking good advantage of the Sea Hero flag. So we have that sort of Sea Hero distinct permajoin, sort of based around the idea of like the single player RPG experience, and each sort of character gets their chance to take a turn as the hero and the protagonist.
Yeah, even in the later stages of the club, it's not even just your traditional Final Fantasy IV hero sets. A wide variety of more interesting things have been added in the most recent season. Well, that's season 2; they're being carried over to this season. But things like Go-Go, the famous mimic from certain other Final Fantasy games, makes an appearance in one of the flag sets.
Yeah, I really like the Dr. Lugue one. That one was really
Yeah.
fun. So yeah, Alchemy has been doing a really good job sort of expanding on these, but at the same time it's also good that there's going to be some fairly regular ones, and she also has been trying to come up with like different ways to play like the same hero, and they also very much have like the same sense of like hero's journey, also sort of following along with like the literary hero's journey as well. So she always picks really interesting themes of the characters to explore. It's a really good race for sort of like discussing characters as well. And then she will also come up with different meta objectives. So these are objectives that they're not like enforced objectives like we have in the game itself, but they're things that we sort of request runners do for fun.
Yeah, I mean, there have been a few instances where the meta objective has been hard required, such as the ever-famous Dark Knight Cecil flag set.
Yes, where you basically are not supposed to go up ordeals unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing also is that this is one where she will sort of look at the first, second, or third place players, and if they meet the meta objective, then they get to pick the next week's character. So it definitely encourages you to join in and figure out, kind of like what you want to do for it, and just, do your best to make like a good splash in the race so that you get to pick the next hero.
Mm-hmm.
So that is going to be the first of our clubs to be returning alongside the weekly races. So that's going to be this Saturday. So that's Saturday, November 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern. That's when you can find the first returning race of Baron's Hero's Journey. I know she posts about it. Did she include who's going to be our first hero out, or is that still a surprise?
I don't think we know that yet.
Oh, okay. Yes, tomorrow. So again, join the Discord. Find out who shall be our hero. Who could it be?
And be prepared to go on quite the journey, if you will.
You should always be prepared to go on quite the journey.
Oh, yes.
All right. Let us go on then. Yes. All right. So next up are another returning Restream Club. It is the Pink Puff League. Hello, Asuka.
Howdy. How's everyone doing?
Doing great. So please feel free to tell us all about the Pink Puff League as the queen of the Pink Puffs and now a pink name yourself.
Thanks. All right, so I did notice somebody in chat by the name of 800, probably 800 meter TM, looking to start racing. Well, let me tell you, good friendo, PPL is just for you, perfectly. It's specifically for new and inexperienced players to free enterprise, and it's a good way to really learn the flag sets, learn different nuances to the game, to meet a whole bunch of really puffin' good people, and to just get your feet wet and eventually build up to those really heckin' cool tournament flag sets that you see people do. We tackle lots of different challenges every single year. Every single season, there's some really cool flag sets that make returns. Cough Cough Lunar Tour will be coming back. Cough Cough a few other things. And since we have some street cred now, let me tell you, friends, that fun little tournament that we just finished, that ZZ5 tournament. So there were 4 champions of ZZ5. 3 of the 4 champions came from Pink Puff League. That yeah, so it's a great place to start, and it's a great place to learn and get really good at the game. And there's so many puffin good, like really, really smart people in the community that love helping out with PPL. They'll answer questions. They will bend over backwards to make sure you understand the flags, how to do all those really heckin' cool things that you see runners do all the time. So it's a great place to learn. It's a great place to meet people, and yeah, it's a really fun thing. So it's back for season 4.
Yeah, I cannot recommend the Pink Puff League highly enough for all of our newer and less experienced players. It is a great place.
Great.
Now, just because, hey, next week is a pretty busy week for us Americans. It's one of the big holiday weeks. What we're going to be doing, the first restream race of Pink Puff League will be on December 8th, but I believe there's going to be maybe a non-restream one before that?
Yes, the first race is officially going to be December 1st. Our regular times is Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. We have a race every single week. We go between non-restreamed and restreamed. And it's a great way to, like, for people that are new and they want to kind of feel that excitement of being a featured runner in a very safe, learning, healthy environment. It's a perfect place for you. But yeah, so December 1st is going to be our first race. That lore, and yes, we have deep lore. That lore will be dropping soon, TM, with the first official flag set. So you get a week to practice them, you get some asyncs to play them with your fellow puffs, and yeah, then on Thursdays we get some like puff on puff racing action.
Yeah, it sounds like it is going to be an absolutely fabulous time. We always look forward to seeing how our puffs do, and then to see how well they do in whatever our next competitive event shall be. So, thank you, Asuka, so much for joining us and telling us all about the wonderful puffs.
We're all tickled pink to have the Pink Puff League returning.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on to our next club. Let's see. Kind of scoot over. All right, so this is okay. Let's see. There's Commander Leonhardt. Hello, Commander.
Hello, Scala. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful to have you. So this is something that's kind of an interesting little thing. We're for this restream club season, we're bringing in a club that started off as an async club. So this is 99 percenters, which you ran as an async last season. Would you like to kind of give us a little bit of a background on this club?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first things first, there will still be asyncs. There are a few things I wanted to make sure I did with this club, and accessibility, availability was definitely one of them. So there will still be an async every week, but also happy to come in and be restreamed and, show off what the club is about. So there'll also be the restreamed races every other Sunday, and a live race on the Sundays that we aren't restreamed. But the club has a YAML that starts off pretty simple, pretty easy and straightforward with the flag set. And as the weeks go on, people can change the YAML based on how they finished. It kind of calls back to Legacy, which used to be a club, except that the people that do the best in terms of finish time have less influence over the YAML to kind of curb the tendency for it to be rude.
Yeah, I'll chime in for a moment just to clarify that by YAML we mean basically the set of settings that are used to generate the mystery seed.
Thank you. Yes. It's a file that the Trickerbot in Discord reads, and the weights in it give the relative chance of each flag being picked. But that being said, despite this tendency, people still going to be trolly. It's the way of things. So there are a lot of lines that are just straight up removed from the YAML so that nobody can touch them. We're also including negative numbers thanks to some of the people I've had helping out with figuring things out for how to make this club work better. We've determined that you can just leave a negative number in as a comment, and that way you can keep track of a negative number without it wrecking your YAML and making it still work. So for this season, whenever you make your choice each week, you can either increase or decrease a flag, whichever you see fit. As far as the live races go, I don't want to punish anyone that 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, which is still a great slot, thank you, but just in case it doesn't work for people, I don't want to punish them if they can't show up. So the live races won't count towards the event standings, but I do still want to encourage people to show up and have fun in case they need the encouragement, so you'll still get the opportunity to change the YAML based on how you do in the live race, which means that if you do the async and the live race, you get 2 different choices.
Double your choices, double your fun.
Something like that.
As always in Free Enterprise, when we say double your fun is in at least 3 quotation marks.
With a trademark.
But yeah, so this is definitely a club that was really fun to watch it evolve. Like, I definitely do really enjoy the evolving clubs. I like to see how they change. I like to see how people, try and change things around. I definitely really like the negative numbers. I would be very curious to see kind of where we almost have like a Price is Right situation where someone cancels out someone else.
Right.
It's gonna be interesting.
And it will be. And I took a few things and started them off well in the negative. The idea there being let's give us at least a few weeks when things are still starting off and kind of easy to stop, just to put a roadblock on people getting things rude real fast. I know that one thing that I got a lot of feedback from last season is that Wackies kind of took over and it kind of became the Wacky Club Redux.
Yeah.
And that first, which is fun. I love my Wackies. But if you're looking at it from an accessibility standpoint, it might not be the best approach. So that's one of the things that has a significant roadblock. If they're that determined, then when we get later in the season and people are eased in, we can have our wacky fun.
Yeah.
This is fair. As one of the official big wacky fans, I also understand. I will quote the ever quotable Cookie Monster that wackies are sometimes food.
Indeed. and given that wackies became the birth of the Armadillo Grind, which led to Ambassador Armadillo,
Yes.
I certainly have no hate for wacky clubs, but I also understand where people are coming from.
Absolutely. So the first restream for this is going to be 2 weeks from now. It's going to be on Sunday, December 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And I feel that really like everyone's just going to be there for a good time. And yeah, but basically keep your eye on the Discord for when those asyncs start up again. Do you have a plan for when those might be happening?
The Monday before.
Okay.
So calendar says November 28th.
All right.
I'll open up the first async, and then 12/4 be a restream, and then another async 12/5, and then we'll do a live race 12/11, same time, but won't be restreamed. Give those hardworking restreamers a break.
Yep. And basically we'll be updating like the calendar and everything that's going to happen after all of this. When I have time to sit down
Right.
with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to be great, and we definitely look forward to it. All right. Well, thank you, Commander, so much for stopping by, for talking to us about your club, and let's see about moving on.
Thanks
to
as
the
always
next
for
one.
having me.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you here.
All right, so let's move on to our new clubs. We have 2 completely new clubs for this season. So for the first one, hello, Gilmock.
Hello!
Hello.
So tell us about Bacchus drinkers.
So,
that you're planning.
when I was first doing this thing, gosh, I can hear myself. Let me do something first.
Yeah, go ahead. Take care of the tech, as we learned that earlier.
Yeah.
We just get it. Oh, it's sad. No one else can hear the music but me in the room.
Aww.
I actually had a lot of fun with this logo. I get for folks who've never been a part of like the club season. When you make a club, I get to make I make you a little logo, and this one was really fun because like Gilmock was like, I want some wine. I want a bottle of wine and with a glass, and I'm like, aw, okay then. So, fun fact: this is basically taken from like the PSP version of FF4, and then I actually made it like look more like the SNES version. Is what I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. We'll do a little behind the scenes.
A neon sign. I like that comparison.
It is a little neon sign, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of fun coming up with the different. Basically, bless everyone who's put together websites for arcade fonts. There's so many good arcade fonts out there.
Yeah, it's a fabulous set of resources for making up the little logos like this.
Yes. Just 1 second, we're just going to. Also, since we have this little break, I'm going to acknowledge the amazing amount of generosity that's been going on in chat while we've been talking.
It is club season, and club season is pretty hype. So
Club season is very hype, so thank you everyone
Extremely
who's
hype.
been contributing to the hype train that we have going on in our Twitch chat currently. Y'all are fantastic.
I'd also like to take a moment to note that Scala is also fantastic.
Aw, but you're also fantastic.
You know, yeah.
Escroat's here because he did a lot of work helping to get everything organized for this.
Yeah.
Gilmock, if you can hear us, just send me a DM, letting us know, like, if you've kind of got stuff worked out or not, or if you actually, how about this? Let me just. And thank you, chat, for also being super cool and patient while we take care of the tech. Always appreciated.
Okay, it comes with the territory of the super cool S Club.
Yes. Also just comes with the territory of streaming.
Well, streaming also starts with an S.
This
so
is
there you go.
true. This is true. Okay. So how about this? We will take we're just gonna quickly rearrange things. Give Gilmalk a bit more time to figure things out.
Yes, yeah, Gilmalk, just if you're ready to talk, just unmute yourself then, and then you can talk.
Yeah, but if you're not,
Unmute.
oh,
There you
I'm
go.
unmuted.
yeah, you got
Yes.
there.
Okay, now I'm just hearing a thousand echoes in all these voices. It was a very surreal experience.
Well, we all good to talk now?
We're good to talk.
Yay! All right,
Yay.
thank you so much. So yeah, so tell us about this club. I can see there definitely are some folks in chat who are excited about this.
So, the idea behind this is when you're first learning free enterprise, one of the strategies that is used in a lot of boss fights and just all over the place is Zerker strats. So, I wanted to create a club that was just all about Zerker strats and going around Zerking bosses, identifying what bosses are not good for Zerkers. That's another thing. You know, who to Zerk, who not to Zerk, when to Zerk, how how much, all that stuff. Just really hone in on that. So, I wanted to also. So if you like going fast, if you like racking up lots of damage, this club is for you. If you like taking that crystal sword and beating things down, this is the club for you. It's a very simple seed type. It's just that there's so seeds are simple. I set up so that you just every week there's going to be a featured character, but it's not Sea Hero, so you don't have to worry about agility settings. Just there is a character. There is a nemesis to that character that I have selected that will be the objective to get the crystal. And this nemesis, by the way, is something that is resistant to Zerker strats, so that's something to watch out for. I selected a list of bosses that you probably shouldn't be Zerking. One example, for example, the nemesis for Kain is D-Mist. You don't want to Zerk D-Mist, I don't think, usually.
Not usually not a good idea.
I remember the very first time I was ever on a restream, I ran into a demisted elements and I zerked people, and I have never done that again.
Yes. And Cecil Wake, I believe the nemesis there is DKC. Depending where he's at, you probably don't want to do that one either.
No, but
so
that's good though.
Yeah.
It is good to learn these things.
Yes. And the seeds are designed to be casual plus, as in, you could basically there's a default casual seed, and you could just practice this on casuals. The settings are basically the same. I just exclude certain characters, and I add a boss that you need to kill, and I added no underage Riki, so no Palom, Porm, or Rydia, so that you'll actually get a set of characters. You'll have a good chance that Zerker strats are going to come into play. I just wanted to eliminate a lot of the mages so that you're not bogged down with mages that can't do anything.
Yeah, this doesn't.
You're gonna get Yangs. You're gonna get edges. You're gonna get the power team to just go and kill things. So I expect these seeds to be quick. An hour and a half tops, depending on how. So another thing is I'm not turning on K-Moon. Because with a boss hunt, I don't mind boss hunts, but I really don't like K-Moon with boss hunts. So your key items are going to be always easily accessible, just to speed things up. Yeah. So I think I've said everything I want to say about this.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will point out that this does mean we don't get to let Rydia hit things.
Yeah, Rydia's not going to be hitting things.
And how unfortunate.
Hopefully Kain hits things. My Kains, for some reason, when I roll seeds, Kain likes to miss a lot. So, I don't know why.
Come
Well,
on,
Kain-
Kane.
Yeah, Kain gives you his spears. Those aren't the most accurate. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the first restream for this club will take place on next Wednesday. That's November 30th. This club runs a little bit later in the evening. This is going to be starting at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Bar hours. happy hour. Happy hour.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Gilmock, so much for coming in, letting us know about this club. I think it's going to be
Drinks are on me.
really fun. Yes, drinks are on Gilmock coming up for this winter season. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's go ahead, go over to our next club.
I'm having trouble finding. Well, wait, this is me.
This is you!
That's why I had to find it. Yes. This club is called Mini Mysteries, and the basic idea here is I'm a fan of crafting flag sets. I'm a fan of mystery seeds because I like the idea of you have to sort of discover what you're doing, what you need to do as you progress through the seed, how you need to handle things as you work your way through the seed. But those who have been with the community long enough know that I personally don't necessarily have a lot of time to dedicate to everything. I don't like spending 2, 3, 4 hours on a seed. And a lot of the more popular mystery seed presets tend to take up a lot of time. And so I thought to myself, what if I could come up with a mystery setup which is designed specifically such that it takes not as much time. And those mini mysteries with the YAML, this is the set of flags that can possibly go into the mystery seeds, as I mentioned earlier. It's something that I've crafted such that your average seed is supposed to take about an hour to complete. Most notably, it's always a win game. That means that the Zormus fight is never necessary. As soon as you finish the requisite number of objectives, then you will win the game. It's great for people who like mystery seeds, don't have the time to dedicate to it. It's a great introduction for those people who might be interested in playing mystery seeds, but aren't sure where to get started with everything.
I have to make my nominal objection that we will not be able to see Zeromus's hat, and if it's a cute hat.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate setback that we have to make in order to fit things in the required time frame.
That's okay. I know.
Yeah.
Z takes up a lot of time, being very big and, shouty about things.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, it's the nature of mystery seeds is such that things are still going to be relatively rude on some occasions. I think one of the test flags based on the YAML for this have been taking about an hour and a half, maybe even more than that. And there are certain flags that have a fairly low chance of being enabled, like permadeath, for example, is the one that immediately comes to mind. But some things at fairly low weights that, when rolled in combination, could also result in rudeness. It is possible, though extremely unlikely, that you'll get only 2 characters for the entire seed. That hasn't happened yet, but it is possible.
I always like that. It hasn't happened yet, but it is possible. I like that very nice quantum.
Well, it's the nature.
Possibility.
Yes, it's the nature of mystery seeds that things will conspire to make things difficult for you in the worst possible ways, no matter how hard you try to avoid that.
Yes, this is very, very true. And then the first restream for that is going to be next week as well. That's going to be Tuesday, November 29th at 8 p.m. We've sort of been talking about the schedule, so let's go ahead, let people sort of see what the schedule we're sort of planning for the coming club season. So what we kind of have done, and we find this tends to work out really nicely, is we have sort of this concept of, like on days, off days. So anything that is in color up there will be a restream. Anything that is not colored, the club captains have the option to do a live race that night. Some folks might like to do the live races off restream. I know some folks are still kind of deciding if they wanted to or not. So just make sure this sort of nice sort of schedule also means that we build in some breaks for our hard-working restream team.
Yay.
Yay, breaks. Yay, self-care. But I think this is a really interesting schedule. I always like to see kind of how our schedule kind of goes. So this was interesting in that we kind of we have a lot of like 8 and 10 this time around. But that just kind of depends on the the schedules of our club captains. So, as always, with Free Enterprise, it's very much a collaborative thing to put together one of these streaming schedules. And we'll be posting this calendar in our Discord in the Clubhouse General, just so that we have nice, easy reference for it. And again, we'll be updating. We have a official Google Calendar. We have our races spreadsheet. We'll be getting all of those updated within like this week, so that way folks will be able to kind of keep track, see what all is happening. But I think this is a really nice little schedule we all put together.
I'm excited for this. I hope everyone else is too.
I hope so. But let's go ahead, start talking about our asynchronous clubs. Oh, hey, this is still you.
It's me again. It's like I like running clubs or something.
It's like you really like running clubs or something.
So first on deck for the non-restreamed the async clubs this season is the popular returning club from last season known as Looters Anonymous. So if you like looting, if you like getting all of the big treasures from chests, if you like playing seeds where 4 of your 5 characters are likely to have adamant armors by the end of the seed, if you want your Cecil to have an extremely good chance of getting a crystal sword, this may be the flag set for you. It's designed to encourage your desire to open all of the chests as much as possible.
Give me 1 second. I realize this is still pulling from old text. So, you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna fix it.
This is the second season of this flag set, and as the text is going to show in just a few moments, there have been a couple of tweaks made to the flag set since last season. There they are. Most notably things like the warp glitch is on, so we want to be going into the sealed cave to loot. We don't have to worry about getting the key item that we're fighting the boss there. Sea Neki is on, because with your adamant armor and crystal sword stuff, so you don't need that starting equipment for him. The Super Smith flag is on because we want we want Kakol to be as fabulous as the rest of the loot you're getting in the seed. And Vanilla Traps is on, just to make sure that you know exactly where you can loot without running into one of those trap chests. One of the quirks which has arisen as the result of this club is when we finish the seed, when we post our results in the race rooms, we like reporting on how many chests we open over the course of the seed, and the total is usually more than 200.
Yes.
You're never going to see numbers like that in any other flag set, so it's a great time. If it's great to learn where all of the possible places you can loot are, because you're going to be looking everywhere.
What is your favorite little known loot spot? Mine is definitely the Kokol's stairs chest. That one I only learned about because other people showed me Free Enterprise, and it's great to show that to people.
Yeah, one of the things that I like doing in this flag set is I go more into the Chocobo Forest than I would ever run in the flag set.
Chocobo Forest.
Like literally all of them in many cases.
Alright. Well, that one is fabulous, but we also have, like I said, you really like running clubs, so...
What can I say? I like coming up with flag sets and people seem to enjoy them, so here we are.
So you have another.
And yes, so here we are. Also returning from last season, I bring you Edge vs. the Blue Planet, Season 2. The genesis of this flag set, funnily enough, was one of the Pink Puff League asyncs that was run in the off-season, not this most recent season, but the season before that, which featured... the flag set didn't explicitly specify Edge as the starting character in that set, but a lot of the original flags are inherit from this, where it's Edge start, party of 3, and K-Nane only. So the end result of that combination of flags is you basically took your starting Edge and you blew up the Blue Planet, more or less. So I liked how that played, and I crafted a flag set based upon that idea. So the idea here is that your hero Edge has 2 other characters with them, and you are expected to clear 5 overworld and underworld objectives which gate other key items. Most notably, this always includes the sealed cave, since that's the most difficult check of that nature. But it will pick 4 of the remaining 6 checks for you to go and complete. So you're going to be completing a fair amount of the K-Nane checks most of the time. That having been said, it's a testament to how fast the seeds go that usually the upper limit of the completion times of one of these seeds is about 1 hour. It's often less than that. So the main difference in this club from last season is that it is now a Sea Hero flag set. That having been said, Vanilla Agility is also on, and Cecil will not appear in the seed. So you get most of the Sea Hero settings, just not the agility manipulation.
All right. Well, and both of those two clubs have already started having, having races back.
Yeah, the first race of them started yesterday, and they'll be running all week. I'll be opening up the next set next Saturday.
Fun. All right. Well, on that, let's go on to another returning async club. Let's see if we can get. Hey, hello, Xenocat.
Hello.
Tell us about Tricker's Trials, Lit 3.
Yes. Well, it's Tricker's Trials Lit 3 because we're on the 3rd season of Tricker's Trials. It hasn't changed much since season 2. We have our bi-weekly asyncs. We use Lit 3 no vintage as opposed to the Lit 3 YAML with the vintage flag because the vintage flag causes some accessibility issues. So you don't get to see the flags. They're very rude. They feature things like a lot of objectives, and you don't know going into the seed whether you need to do all the objectives or maybe just one.
Who knows?
You get to find out. It's great.
One of the joys of mystery seeds.
Yeah. It will always be either all or one. So there's that at least. But we have a lot of rude flags. The flags are generally skewed towards the ruder side. Seeds usually average around 3 to 4 hours. Really bad seeds can go to 5. Sometimes if the seed is nice, it can go sub 2. That doesn't happen often. Don't hold your breath. There's no glitches, there's no buying of sirens or apples at all. No J-drops, so you can't steal sirens with Edge. Edge is significantly nerfed as far as his sneak ability. But you can steal life potions. Very important.
Ooh, okay.
It is actually relevant sometimes.
I always like when it's like, that might be relevant, It's like, things that might be
Sometimes
relevant.
it is.
In Tricker's Trials.
Yeah, I have rolled at least one
freebies,
seed.
So.
Yeah, I've rolled at least one seed where stealing life potions was relevant.
Yes, there is never any free characters or free key item. You're gonna have a team this time. You're gonna have no free characters. You're gonna have to earn your characters. There's a very small chance, very small, but there is a chance that your starting 2 characters are the only characters you get because the Cedo earned flag could be on.
Ooh.
But it's very unlikely. You'd have to roll no character objectives for that.
And have you?
And
oh, go ahead.
yeah, also no push B, no wacky flags because I don't particularly like the idea of running Lit
fair.
3 with Afflicted. That sounds terrible.
I mean, what about Lit 3 with Save Us Big Chocobo?
No, we don't need to do that.
That would be fun with like at least 30 quotation marks around it.
The first seed would roll S empty, and then who would be laughing?
Me, because I just like watching.
You get
people.
5 saves for the whole game.
It's like playing a Resident Evil feed. It's great.
And it's permadeath.
I guess it's like playing Resident Evil.
Oh my god. No. I will not do that.
The thing is, someone out there, I already see Warlick making plans. Some people making plans. Go do it, chat. I don't know. I guess figure it out. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You can save whenever once you get the Darkness Crystal. It'll be fine. You'll roll K on save.
But anyway, when can we expect to see Tricker's Trials, the asyncs return?
I am actually planning on opening up the first async either tonight or tomorrow morning.
Ooh, so much fun.
We're going to get started on them right away.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Xenocat, so much for talking to us, for entertaining our completely off-base suggestions. But
Oh, of course.
With a swift but firm no. Please don't.
No. No, Trickle House is not changing until 5.0.
Okay, fair enough. But thank you so much. I know folks will be really excited to play these seeds again.
Yeah, I have just one thing to say about this, and that's anyone who's interested in joining this club. It's your turn now.
Oh yeah, no, that's the subtitle of this season.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next club. This is one that I really do enjoy. Hello, Tall Grant.
Hey, Scala, how we doing today?
We are doing fantastic. Please tell everyone about the absolute joy that is Film Friends.
Well, Film Friends started off as a goofy idea. I was actually trying to build a community club or a community race flag set, and thought, let's make Sid and Ed's Excellent Adventure. Let's do a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure seed. And I started goofing around with it, and it was right about the time we did Adamant Cup, and Beauty and Discovery, who was in my group, mentioned to me, hey, I'd love to get involved with running a community club. I said, actually, you know what? I have an idea that we could build a club around. And so our basic idea is we try to take a movie and we distill it down to the essential parts of the movie and put it into a free enterprise seed, which is not always the clearest one-to-one fit. But we try to find fun ways to slip in the right characters, pick objectives that kind of will somehow match the plot or something else about how the movie plays and what goes on, and put together an interesting seed to play, with the added bonus of, while you're playing, you're sitting and thinking, what on earth is this? What are they getting at, and what can be here? And overall, I think we've been pretty successful with that, because we have a whole bunch of movies where people will look at it, and sometimes we get better hits than others, but people come up with great ideas. In fact, I see while I'm out there joking, my usual thing that I bother people when I see them running is the Little Mermaid, which was actually the very, very first seed we ever did in the club. And so we do fun things. We stick Rydia in as the hero, and I think the thing that threw everybody that seed is I had them all do Dwarf Castle, so you'd have that transformation scene for Rydia when she turns from a mermaid into a human.
Yeah.
We make them do that. We had them open the treasury so you could open up areas, a little treasure trove. We had them do music so that they could sing the songs from the film. We made her father Fusoya. We made you fight Octomam so it could be Ursula, all those neat kind of things. So that's what we do with the club. We generally, other than the fact that we restrict your party, try to make our seeds pretty friendly to play. You're going to have limited characters as a function of what we're doing, but we give you probably the most generous starting kit I've seen in any of the clubs. I do not see many people hand out the loaded kit, so you come with us, you have exits, you have all kinds of neat J items to start with. We've got fairly generous treasure settings. We let you find adamant armor and kind of turn you loose on the seed. And I think the only other, it's designed to be very beginner friendly, with the caveat that we've learned that you're going to have to find a way to get your grind. And I seem to have a penchant for not rolling sirens in the shop. But that's what we do. We do a write-up before we start the seed, and we give you some clues as to what kind of seed we're going to run and what you're looking for, but we don't tell you, and we leave it for that spoiler thread so that almost everybody who runs the club runs the thing, doesn't read the spoilers, and sits down and posts their guess of what they thought it was and why it was there. And it's actually really fun for us, because we see people looking at things where they may interpret it and see a different movie. They may reinterpret the objectives with something even better than what we thought of. We actually have that going on with one of the objectives in this week's seed.
Ooh.
And we just, we have a water hag objective in this week's seed, and I don't want to talk about what it is, because I don't want to spoil the movie, but the way people are interpreting it is not what I intended, but it's actually better than what I thought.
Oh, that's always fun. That's always fun.
But I mean, so we are themed around. We did 80s last season. We've been doing 90s this season. However, starting with the holidays, we're going to go back to 80s for a few weeks. I've actually got several people who ran in the club last year who sent me ideas and said, hey, you should have covered this. And I said, that's great. Why don't you come guest design a seed for us? So we're actually going to have our first guest design seed next week.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. And we we again try to do fun things. And There's a lot of movies being discussed. In fact, there's one that chat talked about very heavily that may be on the docket for later this season. That did not happen during season 1. But I mean, we had fun things. I think my favorite last season was actually we did a Dark Knight Cecil seed where we themed it around the villains from Spaceballs with
that
Cecil
was
as Cecil as Dark Helmet. And you know,
I mean, I had a lot of fun with the Halloween one for sure.
yes, Scala was kind enough when we did Ghostbusters to dump in a Sega Genesis Stay Puft Marshmallow Man as in the Zeroma's pool. So if you come across it, that came.
Which, by the way, I actually had to elaborate on the one that was in the original game. So it's kind of half the Sega Genesis one and half my own creation. But anyway, also you are burying the lead about one of my favorite things about Film Friends, though. Tell us about the trailers.
I have done some trailers. I've cut them back a little bit this season, though we had one this past week. But yes, we've been doing we've occasionally done trailers just to kind of give you a hint of where the hero is. Sometimes I drop a big clue as to what's coming. Other times I completely throw information to throw people off. And I'm trying to get back to them. Life has been a bit busy, but I would love to do more of them again, just to come up with stuff. And it's kind of fun just to see goofy things, see memes. I mean, we had Tella in the trailer this week, and so of course I had him summoning the D Machine fight on the giant. And I find fun music and goofy things to do. So I'm hoping that we'll see some more of that as I get to Thanksgiving and personal life calms down a little bit more. But like I said, it's a fun club. We run asynchronously. We play on, we typically, Beauty and Discovery, who founded the club with me, he and I will run the seed together as a live race on Thursday night. And we actually don't get a ton of viewership because most of our club members don't want to see the seed. And that's great. I mean, we love to see the people play. We love to come in and watch them and comment and taunt because we know when the bad things are going to happen. And, you know, I think I was talking with Alchemy about this. It's really hard to run a club and not eventually start rolling something terrible in a seed. And I definitely...
Yeah. We that's great. We might know a little bit about rolling terrible stuff. It's just the law. The longer you go on rolling seeds, the more likely you are going to create garbage, or in my case, maybe break something.
Well,
I break things too.
Well, this season the theme appears to be we do 4 out of 5 objectives typically, and usually I gate the last 2 objectives behind each other, so that you'll end up doing 5 out of 5, trying to find that 4th one anyway. But you know, great things like making Tella do the Alt Gauntlet in the Ordeos fight on Sea Hero. That's nasty. I locked the only Porum in the seed behind 2 objectives in the Tower of Zod, which required, I think, 6 key items to get there. So we do interesting things sometimes, but we're really fun. We're very much a participation. We want everybody there. We love having people who are getting fairly new at the game to come play with us. In fact, it was really fun for us to have Raging Levine, I think, played his 2nd ever seed in our club. And of course, Raging then went on to have this fantastic run in ZZ5, just having picked it up over the summer and gotten good at it. So we take people from all skill levels. We love to teach you how to do Sea Hero, how to see how that works. It's an interesting, different flag. I think it's coming back more into vogue than it used to be because we're a little bit farther removed from ZZ4. But we have that. We love to see people. We love to have you come guest, see what the movie is, see what we're doing. And of course, if you have movie ideas, I'm always happy to talk about them just because I'm looking for things to help me build.
All right. It sounds like it's going to be another fabulous season of Film Friends. Tall Grant, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. We really do appreciate it.
Love to. Always a pleasure. And S Grunt, make sure you let everybody know that the S stands for sitting on stool.
Incorrect.
He's not currently sitting on a stool. Not right now.
Right now I'm between stools, apparently.
Yeah, it's okay. But anyway, let us move on to our next club. This is another returning club, though this is a little different. Oh my gosh, Travis, I still have your thing set.
Oh, you know what? We're here now. We're keeping.
Yeah, this feels very appropriate in this sense.
This kind of feels appropriate. For folks who missed it during ZZ5, we had a special we had a special 4 commentator raise, and I had to make a special graphic for it, and it's just here now.
Yes, well, hello everyone. My name is Athos. I am actually the one who's going to be keeping the seat warm of the Toroian Tango. And yes, as we see the four people here, they are four wonderful members of the Restream team. We have the Pink Puff Queen, Asuka. We have her Knight Radical, myself right there, and then we have the lover of all things harps, Harumph. I'd like to introduce you to part of, at least half of these people are in fact going to be playing Toroian Tango.
Just for like a little bit of background, Toroian Tango was started by the wonderful Emily, aka Poorly Drawn Bees, and Lady Id, but they're taking a little bit of a break from Free Enterprise, and you're taking over the club for this season.
I am. There's been a lot of people who've been doing a little bit of talking in the Toroian Tango channel, as well as clubs in general, and I figured it would be unfair if the club was unable to come back after they'd said that they were taking their extended break. And I was like, I reached out and said, hey, can we keep things a little warm, the seats a little warm? Because there's enough people who are like, hey, let's take a little look at this. So I am taking up the mantle for the time being. And as you can see here, Toroian Tango, as we've mentioned, a little bit different. Instead of your regular 1v1s, get yourself a partner and welcome to the dance.
To the dance. Yeah, so Toroian, so this is co-op or 2v2. We've kind of like referred to it a couple different ways, where the timing on it is done a little bit differently. Basically, the way a co-op seed is kind of run is what's considered to be the final time of the seed is your time plus your partner's time, and then that sort of like total time together is what's used then to judge you against the other teams. So what this does is it kind of encourages both players to play as optimally as possible.
Yeah, and as mentioned, you can see in the points here, you are free to share any bit of information, and you are obviously very encouraged if you want to have people divide, conquer, and work among strengths, and again, find a teammate that you can be very communicative with. Speaking of, I am also in the process of putting together a way for LFGs, because I know there are some people who are still without partners, and it is never fun to dance alone, although you got to make sure that you're always dancing for yourself.
Yeah, and it's a great way to kind of make friends in FE, and just have like a good time with each other. I know, we're also going to get a little bit more attention towards co-op seeds, because you and Asuka will be running a co-op seed for Winter Pride coming up next month.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that. I was gonna say we are gonna be doing that. We're doing a bit of a different style of these flags. It was, again, very great to do a little bit of a touch in the 2v2. In fact, I've also changed the way Toroian Tango flags were done from last season. I've decided the emphasis is still on a little bit of the music idea, so we're doing one objective will always be music of some kind. So harp is going to be a key item to keep your eye out for. As well, there was some meta objectives spoken about. I'm also thinking about throwing in one or two flag sets that are slightly different. One I'm thinking about, for those of you who might don't know about this, there's something called the Sadie Hawkins dance. I have a flag set based on that coming down the pipe. That won't be for a little bit because I'm still playing around with it, but again, mostly going to be some of the same set of flags. Again, bi-weekly, so you get 2 weeks to run it with your partner, and done over the course of the rest of the season.
Yeah, I know you had an async started up just this week, correct?
Yeah, this is going to be the 1 week test to see how some of the changes I've implemented are going. That flag set is not going to be the one that's there because I may have forgotten the kits or something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV.
Well, it is going to be really fun to see the Tango come back. I know it's been a lot of fun for folks, and definitely I'm really happy that it's coming back around again, and I hope folks have the chance to really enjoy it.
I do as well. Again, I hope some of the changes I put in are going to be very welcomed, and we're going to see how things will evolve and take feedback from people for possibly the season following, because again, I was surprised at the people who gained a lot of interest in this, considering 2v2 is not something that's really spoken about within the community, so it's really awesome to see that a lot of people love it.
Like a lot of things, like things are cyclical, that kind of thing. different ideas sort of, get popular, maybe then people take a break, It's definitely, and I think one thing we always have to remember, and gosh, I have to remember this, is that, in February, Free Enterprise is going to be 5 years old. So
We have been around for a while then.
We've been around for a while, so it's not surprised that we kind of have cycles. But here's the thing: I'm really happy to see 2v2 and co-op sort of cycling back into favor. As someone who
Absolutely
sort of
same.
helped really, pioneer that early on. But Dathis, thank you so much for coming in and talking with us. I know folks will definitely be looking forward to more of that. So
Well, thanks for letting me talk a little bit about it.
I'll let you dance off stage left then.
And I still dance.
You dance. All right, let's get on to our next. So this is kind of an interesting idea. Hello, Plumerionite.
Hello, thank you for letting me join you tonight.
We're happy to have you. So we just started talking about Toroian Tango, which is one way of doing co-op, where you have two people playing the same seed at the same time and sharing information. But you also have a really interesting co-op idea that we're going to be making into a club.
Yeah, so it's very similar to the Toroian Tango in that you're working with one other person, and you're basically you have to communicate with each other to best navigate through the seed. And one player has the spoiler log, and the other player will be playing the game. And so the challenge is to do it as quickly as possible, so that the pilot will determine how best to get through the seed, and then the person who plays the game will have to take that information and then turn it into a plan of attack to actually get through whatever bosses are in the way and navigate through the seed as best that they can.
Yeah, this is something that I've kind of always wanted to see ever since we sort of started bringing in spoiler logs. It's definitely something where, sort of part of the challenge, though, is that, you basically, the runner opens the seed, the pilot opens the spoiler log, and it's both at the same time. So you don't get any real chance to kind of, look ahead, basically.
Right, there's no time to, like a typical spoiler solo race, you'll get about 10 or 15 minutes to look at the spoiler log before you start. But with this situation, you don't get any planning time. And so everything just happens on the fly. So both players kind of have to have an idea of what they're looking for, and probably the player will go do something that they, loot an area, or maybe try to fight an easy boss or something, while the pilot figures out the best things to do right away. And the pilot kind of has a tough job at first, but then it slowly transitions to they don't have as much to do, and then it's all on the runner to execute the plan.
Yeah, so that's definitely an interesting sort of different way of doing things. Do you know when you're going to be starting to open up the ASICs for this?
I think I plan to open them up tonight, and it will be bi-weekly, so you'll have plenty of time to find a partner, and you'll have 2 weeks to run the seed, and then so about 2 seeds per month. And I actually I think even though the flag set is on the difficult side, it might be good for new players if you can find yourself an experienced partner, and then you can use that as a learning opportunity, actually, to both communicate, find out how an experienced player prefers to play, and what equipment they look for, what characters they look for, how they get through difficult bosses with minimal experience. And then on the flip side, you could challenge yourself to have your pilot be the experienced runner and have them navigate you through the seed, so that you can learn kind of some new strategies. And the other big thing about being the pilot is to really know how your player wants to play the seed or likes to play the seed. Because if you say, do this, do that, and go here, well, if your player doesn't use that strategy generally, it might not go that well. So you actually kind of have to have a back and forth. If you're the pilot, you can't just tell your player what to do and how to play. You have to be able to receive feedback and say, okay, well, if this doesn't work, then we can try this, or, there's like a crystal sword in this trap chest that we can take a few minutes to grab, and it'll make everything else a lot easier. And so there's a lot of ways that you can attack this flag set, I think.
Not only is it a learning experience, it's a learning experience on how to learn as well, if you will.
Learning about learning. Ooh.
Exactly.
What level are you on, Escrunch?
Like maybe 5 levels of learning.
Oh, you are like a little baby. But so yeah, this sounds like it's gonna be a really interesting way to play. I really do hope that, kind of like how Toroian Tango helps to sort of encourage people to come together and work together, I also hope that Pilot Spoiler will do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that happen, and I really think it can do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Plumeria, for coming in and talking to us. It is much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So next club, we're going to be sort of talking on behalf of the captain. Let me also just switch over the music. So we have routing Regatta. This is kind of a really interesting concept. So we've done this a couple of times. We've sort of done these sort of Router's Relish sort of style things. But this is our first time kind of really turning it into a club. So basically the sort of concept with this club is that at the start of a week, there will be an async with a spoiler log, kind of just like Pilot Spoiler. And then you have a week to look at the log, play the seed repeatedly, and basically figure out how to speedrun that specific seed. And then once you're ready, you sort of designate like when you're going to be doing your run, and then you're going to sort of go through, run it as many times as you can to find the fastest way through.
Yeah, so it's a little bit more involved than your classic spoiler type race, where you play the seed as many times as you want until you actually have your final designated run, which is itself it's kind of a different take on the whole spoiler thing, in my view.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way of doing it. Like I said, when we've done Router's Relishes before, it's been really fun to watch like a seed sort of get broken down and analyzed, just as a little sort of world unto itself, a little game unto itself. Which is, I feel, it's like a super interesting way to play FE, is to sort of be able to sort of take that the knowledge that comes with like running a regular speed run and then apply it to a randomizer.
Yeah.
So this is going to be really fun. I know Sofnum will be getting those started up soon. So again, as we've been saying, join the Discord if you find any of this interesting and would like to join us. All right.
Sofnum says probably Monday.
Monday. Ooh, sounds like fun. Thank you, Sofnum, for letting us know that in chat. All right. So for our next club, we got something for folks who like bosses. Hello, Warlink.
Greetings, everyone.
So tell us about Hide and Seek World Championship.
Well, this club came about, let's put it this way. A long time ago, you remember a certain club called Wacky Races.
Yes.
Maybe. If you don't, go to youtube.com/freeenterprise. There's a playlist of that. If you like commentary like Saturday morning cartoons, that's the race for you. So for that race, for that club, it features some of the wacky flag, one of the 32 wacky flags that has been implemented in the April Fools 2021. There are some flags that are like really easy to showcase, like Ambidextrous, Kleptomania, Night Mode was featured in a community race.
Sky Warriors.
Yeah,
Sky Warriors.
Yep.
World Championships of Darts, that's my wacky flag of choice. But there are some that are either not really, either is really too hard to implement without having to change the flags. Ask me about fist fight. Ask me about fist fight. I have words. But
are they fighting words though?
Are they worth fighting for, if you will?
There are some words that I cannot say here on the stream. Ask me after the stream is over. I can explain about it. But
Yes.
anyway, but there are some flags that are really, really hard to showcase in like in a live race with commentary over 2, and Enemy Unknown is one of those flags because it's a really fun flag because all the overworld boss sprites are all the same, and when you go to the fight, you're basically fighting them without the sprites. So basically, I came up with an idea. It's like, how can I make up a club with that? And multiple times in Discord, the admins, you can start your own tournament, and you don't have to be the admin. So I just say, hey, let's make a little tournament. It's like, okay, bosses, go out and hide. We seek them, and we determine which one of you is to be crowned as the true hide-and-seek champion of Free Enterprise. And this was also based off Coffee and Chocobo made some asyncs in the past. It's basically we give them a food, press B and jump, and just hunt down demons. And these flag sets is designed to be really short and quick. It could be as quick as 30 minutes. It could go as long as 90 minutes, depending on where the hiding is really good. So.
Yeah, this is, I think, super interesting. I actually really do like Enemy Unknown. It's such a good, test of, all right, cool, how much do you, how quickly can you figure out, what boss you're fighting just based off of different, scripts and everything. And it's just, really interesting. And also, I do like that you have, these sort of, different ways of gathering points as well.
Yeah, basically this whole club, other clubs, you can join their own club. They'll come through bot commands and you get points for finishing first on that set. For this, you just get 1 point for finishing the seed, but the bosses are given points to determine how easily they're found during the week, and that will determine how the following rounds plan out. Because I treated this like a track and field meet, there's multiple heats to qualify to the next round, all that stuff. So that's how all this is handled. And basically, the qualifying heats are basically the group stage style flags that think of the Blue Moon from ZZ5. You got high power. You're given a good character to start. Go out and find those 4 of those 5 bosses. And then once we get to the semifinals and finals, we now you got used to the wacky flag. I'm taking away some of your power.
Ooh.
Some of the power is something similar to Red Moon's from CZ5. It's doable, but you have to think of it as a puzzle of, okay, if I'm handling team 90 HP, how do I handle this and get the character up from Hogs?
And then you also have what are you going to give us any hints about the bonus week?
Let's just say it's there's a lot of lore just based off of how things. That's basically off. All I'm going to say is there's lore that explains why the flags were changed from group to semi and finals. And the bonus week, let's just say for the other races, it's own win. You don't fight Ceromus because, as we all know, he's too big, too powerful. We can't move him around, and since him being invisible, we ban his sprite, and he's been sent to the container unit for the time being. So
okay, I guess that's okay. Can you tell us? Okay, so bosses for the week rolled Monday morning. When is going to be the first async of this going to be posted?
It will be posted tomorrow. So,
Awesome.
so tomorrow morning I will announce who are the bosses for the week, and we'll give the bosses enough time to go, which won't happen until 6. But whatever. It's thematic that they have 10 hours ish to go out and hide, and then
Oh, gotcha. You're going
and
to
once
count
the
to 10.
yeah. And then
I
we
love
open the race room and go at it, and you have until Sunday at 6 to complete it. So
That's
just-
fantastic.
let's just hope one of the bosses, not like a small child, decided to hide behind the curtain in the living room with their feet staked out and just giggling and laughing. It's like, hee, can't find me here.
I
was like-
mean that would probably be the Dark Imps. That
Yeah,
sounds
there
like
are-
something they would do. The
Yeah,
Dark Imps would hide in a trench coat, kind of thing.
And also there will be some spots for like single target enemies that you might one shot it before you realize their attacks are up and figure out is this one of my required bosses, and you have to wait until after the battle to get the notification. It's quite fun because it happened to me during the test runs. It's like with the Baron, there was Baron throwing was a single target able to hit it. I don't know. It attacked me. I don't know who exactly it was. It was Odin, my last required boss for the 4th objective. When the game is like, oh, so I'm done. Okay.
GG.
Yep.
Unexpected GG.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, this club, you don't have to go fast. It's open to all skill levels and all that stuff. We're just trying to determine which one of these 35 bosses is the true hide and seek championship of free enterprise. So
that sounds like it's going to be a bunch of fun. Morling, thank you so much for talking with us. I absolutely appreciate it. I'm sure folks are going to be looking forward to this one.
yeah, this is the closest one bringing back wacky races. But since the club captains might bring it back, but they're busy with they're busy doing their own stuff. So I'll just leave it as that. So this is the closest I can get.
Well, I do appreciate it, and thank you so much. We'll be looking forward to when you start the countdown on Monday. All right, so we got another new one. Let me go ahead, swap that over. We'll see if we can get hello, Leuston.
Hello.
So please tell us about the team building exercise.
Yes, so team building exercise is a static, as you can see on the screen, static flag set from week to week. We're looking at something pretty similar to kind of a mashup of Adamant Comp and Blue Moon. So this is going to feel very familiar to a lot of you. However, the twist is that every character in the game every playable character, I should say, is assigned a point value. You may have up to 25 points on your team, and over the course of the seed, permajoin and buy are on. So if you've got, if you're looking for high-powered, top-tier characters, well, you better be ready to make sacrifices on the back end. And I'm really interested to see how people approach seeds with this restriction in mind.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I definitely like that it's permajoin and see buy, so you have to be like on it to figure out like what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I've run a couple test seeds of this with my own ideas. The tier list I've crafted very kind of cocktail napkin mathy, and I've had to hem and haw over a few of these. So I think we're going to see a lot of differences between the runners who can make those snap decisions and runners like me who maybe take a little more time to make that decision.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting club to sort of like watch and see how it evolves, really. So
absolutely.
Do you have? Go ahead, please.
Yes. My expectation is that over the course of this club, I have a very rough idea of what these tiers look like for now. But my expectation would be that over time, the flag set would not change. But as we see, if we see in the certain seeds, this character, we had such and such character here. It was a no-brainer to take this character and this character. Maybe we need to adjust the point values. So as of right now, I have an idea what these points are going to look like, but I'm absolutely open to feedback, and we will see if that's the way it stays.
Yeah, that's great. To be getting the feedback, getting, good information from like all sorts of different folks in the community. Do you have an idea when you're going to be starting running races?
Whenever we can. I would like to run as soon as this is approved. I'd like to run.
You are here because you are.
Yes, you're here because you can start whenever you want.
Oh wow. Okay. That is a misunderstanding on my part. Yeah, then immediately here,
All
I
right.
am going to open up a test async just to see what people think of what we've got so far. And then I'm hoping that after a few days, people get a chance to run it. People let me know what you think. And I know in America, we've got this holiday, so I'll probably leave it open for a week or so. And then maybe, I don't know, a week from Monday, we'll start opening the club in earnest, is my thought.
All right, that sounds good. Thank you so much for joining us and for telling us about this club. I think folks are really going to enjoy this one.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm really excited to see what people do with this. Again, I would like it to be to the point where it's not just a no-brainer to take Cecil and Fu and an Anchoridia, because unfortunately, I see you, Scythe, and unfortunately, I saw that message in chat, and I looked at my draft tier list, and I was like, oh.
That's okay. That's okay. Iteration is good. Reworking things is good.
Yes. So yeah, we'll have to tweak a few things, but I will get an async put together as soon as I can. I like where the flags themselves are at, I think. Again, it's kind of a mashup of Adamant Cup Group Stage and Blue Moon. So should feel pretty familiar to veterans and should be pretty accessible for new players. So I'm really looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to it as well. Thank you so much for stopping in and chatting with us. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. All right, one last club to talk about. So this is Shop Till You Drop. This is going to be run by the wonderful Ribbon Quest. This is going to be basically themed supermarket sweep. If you've never run supermarket sweep, it's a flag set where basically everything is free. You can go real fast and just get everything that you need out of shops. It's also this is definitely designed to be like a nice sort of like easygoing, speedy flag set. You're going to have 2 or 3 objectives to win. No Z fight required. Basically, you just grab those keys to the airship. You grab King Dad's credit card and you just shop till you drop. Trying to sync things over Discord is definitely
very difficult.
It's a challenge, y'all.
Yeah.
But also, I know Ribbon has been planning to do different themes, different sort of seasonal takes on Supermarket Sweep. She let me know that The first of these should be starting up sometime this week, hopefully on Wednesday, and it might be themed around Black Friday. So it's going to be a really fun time for folks who really enjoy Supermarket Sweep. It's a really fun flag set. It's one that I do enjoy. So I hope that other folks will have the chance to enjoy this club as well.
Yeah.
So for this and for everything else, please look forward to it. And again, please join the Discord. We'll definitely have a link on the YouTube VOD for y'all. But yeah, let me just sort of give a quick little wrap up here. But we have all this. We also have more. We also have our ladder, which is found at ff4feladder.com. Those if you'd like to get your scheduled races in, we have those. We also do, of course, like I said, have the Discord. We also do have, there are even more clubs. We definitely had some other folks who are considering running them. There's also plenty of one-off asyncs. Eskar, would you know anything about that?
No, it's not as though I put up most of the asyncs, at least a good chunk of the asyncs in the Discord on a frequent basis or anything. We encourage anyone who's interested, who likes playing with flag sets as much as I do, for example. Anyone can create an async race and can roll with whatever flags you feel like doing, and it's a very good way, in my view, to test out flag sets or just share something which you've created with everyone else and see what they think of it.
Yeah, it's a really great way to kind of join in on the community, get a chance to kind of just enjoy FE.
I mean, that's basically what I started off doing, like where I am now.
Yeah, you're here in the booth, doing the thing.
Doing the thing.
But also, we have casual pickup races. You can go to the Newbies Corner or the Tech Talk, get your questions answered. You can submit suggestions for harp songs, for Z-Sprites, for flag sets. You can help us with bug reports, which I might have generated one of those recently. It's fine. It's fine. Breaking things is how we fix things.
To be fair, that's the fault of my flag set rather than anything you did, but that's beside the point.
Nah, I take full responsibility. I'm the one who broke it, and I like that I broke it into fun and interesting way. But also, just come hang out. There's way too many emotes. There's in jokes like this one, which I saw was still here from last time, and I'm like, you know what? I still stand by this joke. I still stand by diners, drive-ins, and D-machines. So you all get to see it again. Maybe next time I'll come up with a new meme. I don't know. You don't know either, so... but really just thank you everyone who stopped by. Thank you to all of our amazing club captains. We had so many people stop by and join us tonight. I was really happy about that.
Yes, it's. We've got a lot of clubs. We've got a lot of people involved in the clubs that are all wonderful people and wonderful clubs and a wonderful community.
Yeah, and yeah, come join us. Y'all are absolutely welcome to do so. So thank you all so much for spending a little time with us here this evening. What we are, let's see, figure out where we should take our friends for the time being. But yeah, basically.
Yes, we be part of the fun and the hype. Oh, apparently we don't have audio anymore. Oh. Well, people can still hear her. Yeah, Scala is aware that we can't hear her right now, so... give it just a moment. All right. Well, thank you all for coming by this evening, and be sure to. I'm sure. Be sure to stop by and
There I
and there we are. Welcome back.
Welcome back. What we'll do is how this. We'll toss things over to a wonderful, longtime friend and supporter of the free enterprise community. You all know him. You all love him. We'll go say hello to Poexel. But thank you all so much for stopping by. Again, join the Discord, come join some clubs, and we hope y'all will have a wonderful winter club season with us. Take care, y'all.
Have a good one.